Cool. We're on.
I'm still laughing.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to ISTE. It's been a long time. My name is Heather Lister, and I am from Pennsylvania. And I am the new ISTE Librarians Network Professional Development Chair. And here with me tonight is the stunningly beautiful Sherry Gick.
Hey, guys. Coming at you from Rossville, Indiana. And I am the past president of ISTE LIB.
So we're going to start by just, we haven't been on air for a long time, so we have some housekeeping things to go over. First things first, though, we do have a hashtag, ISTELIB. So if you have questions or we're going to be posting out the links for the tools that we're sharing. Keep the conversation going. We're only going to be on air for a half hour or so, but continue to ask those questions and keep it going even when we are not on air.
Heck yeah, and we are using that hashtag all the time, not just during tonight's chat. So just add that one to your tweet deck so that you can follow along as we're tweeting out different news and events and things that pertain to school librarians across the world.
All right, so Sherry's going to talk a little bit about some things that are coming up with ISTE. It's sneaking up quicker than, well, that's how it always happens. So just some things that we haven't planned, some new things, some things that we've done in the past, some updates, and then we will get into the tools.
Okay, so don't forget, guys, you need to get registered, and I'm preaching to the choir because I need to get myself registered for ISTE. That early bird discount ends at the beginning of March, so we're giving you a little bit of ahead of time to say, get it on your calendar, put back that money, go ahead and get registered, pay, so that you can get it on the early bird discount. And we will be having a playground this year. The wonderful, amazing Alyssa Malspina is our president-elect, and she's in charge of our ISTE LIB playground. So stay tuned as far as we will be asking you guys to be the presenters. So we'll be having you sign up for times and for strands where you want to present and be able to share with everybody. And the playground is always one of our best tended events for sure. We love the playground. Of course, there's going to be a great social this year where I'm not sure. If you've got some ideas, we had ISTE in San Antonio 4 years ago, right? So if you've got some good ideas for us, let Kathy Schmidt know or hit Heather or I up, or even Jonathan. Jonathan loves to get those messages on Twitter. So tell our president where you think the social should be, because we are still getting that all arranged. And you know what? Future Ready is here to stay, right? As school librarians, we are future ready. We want our school systems to be future ready, and we are continuing to partner with Future Ready. We'll be doing a panel at ISTE, and also we've just got lots of collaborations that are planned over the next several months, really over the next year. So follow that hashtag as well as ours. Awards, guys. We always do 2 awards each year. We do the elementary one from ISTE LIB and the secondary one. That will be publishing super soon. I want to say that's like in a week or 2 when we actually start asking for submissions. That usually opens up beginning of February. So we're kind of getting that all tweaked and ready for you to submit all the awesome things you've been doing this school year. So be looking for that. What else do we need to tell them, Heather?
I think that's it. The only other thing is if you're doing anything with Future Ready, like a presentation for admin or presentation with other librarians, we would love to hear about it and share that great news. There are a wealth of librarians and just resources that are out there to support you in any of those, endeavors. And, even if you just want us to share it out and celebrate that, that would be awesome. Also, for those of you that are watching this, that, you attend ISTE and you're more of a participant rather than a presenter, the playground is the perfect spot to get your presenting feet wet. And what's great about it is, you know, you go through the vendor hall and you see a lot of these tools, but you don't really get to see them in action and how they're used. So sometimes it's hard to connect those dots, especially because, you know, obviously there's a lot of things at ISTE for librarians, but that's not their main audience. So a lot of the vendors, they're targeting the masses. And so you really have to, I mean, unless you have the time to stay and talk with all of these vendors about how librarians can be using that in their libraries, the Librarians Network Playground is so awesome to see some tools that, okay, maybe they weren't created for librarians, but how are we using it? And you're gonna see, I mean, like last year, there was everything from virtual reality to library tracking software.
To block cells, creating our video games.
Exactly.
Awesome
it was all over the place. So if there's something that, you know, your kids love, and don't ever assume like, oh, everybody knows about it. That is totally not the case. Everything was flooded. And it's, again, even if it's a tool that people have known about for a while, it's that application piece that the playground offers that you're not going to get anywhere else.
Right.
So it's, yeah, and present with somebody else, or like put out a call. You know, we have the conversation, the thread, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, on the Librarians Network in your kind of dashboard in ISTE. I don't even know what the word I'm looking for.
Oh, in our forum. We have the forum, the group. In the community. The community. I think we're calling it community now.
Yeah, so in there, you know, post like, hey, I really want to post, you know, or talk about augmented reality in the libraries. Anybody else want to get together? And that is like an amazing way just to meet new people and, I guess, take away some of the anxiety because you have two people talking. So definitely put in for that. Yeah.
Librarians love to collaborate, right? So
we do. I know.
Why not collaborate with each other? I mean, honestly, that's how it all happens. That's how this fabulousness happens, you know?
Right. And then you can get a Voxer group.
That's right. And then the next thing you know, you're BFFs forever. So.
Exactly. I know.
Hey, are we going to let them, as far as maybe suggest some topics for upcoming PD?
Oh, I'm so glad you said that. Okay. So, wait, I had the link up here somewhere.
Oh, we're going to have a link, guys. This is going to be good.
Okay. So, we want your feedback in terms of what PD you guys are looking for. You know, is it, you know, specific strands of tools like we're doing tonight, like tools just on Reader's Advisory, or are we looking a little bit more broad? What do you want to see for ISTE LIB? So I am going to, let's see.
Sorry, making her multitask. She's going to tweet that link out in a few minutes so that you can actually, I'll keep talking while you work on that link. So Heather's going to tweet it out and you're going to be able to suggest what you'd like to see. Now, we are talking Reader's Advisory tonight because, again, as much as we love connecting technology and reading together. And what better day to talk about books and Reader's Advisory than today when we celebrated the ALA Youth Media Awards. I hope that you watched them this morning. They were great, and so many good books that if you haven't read, to add to your list and to suggest to your kids tomorrow and to put out on display. And heck yeah, go March. 4 awards for March 3. So make sure that you've got that trilogy in your library for sure. And yeah, I'm looking at this nice tweet from Jonathan. Thanks, Jonathan. Shout out to Mr. President there. So our Reader's Advisory tool, look at Heather. She's doing a great job multitasking. She is a librarian, people. She knows how to juggle.
Yeah, and a mom. So I just shared out 2 links actually. So the one link that I shared was the link to a Google form. Just type in whatever you want, even if you're like me and have no idea how to put it into words. Just we'll figure it out. And then the second link I shared is a link to a Padlet. Now that Padlet, that's been floating around for a while because that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So the way that this all started, I sent out I actually started a post on the School Librarians Workshop and asked for just suggestions for ways that you, or tools that you use to either do Reader's Advisory or support your Reader's Advisory efforts. And we're going to talk about as many as we can in this half hour. But if we can't get to some, everything is on that Padlet. So I put the links to everything there. There are actually some that are on there that we're not going to talk about that I'm assuming everybody is going to know about. that we'll just mention, but you can get the direct links there. So I think we covered all the housekeeping things. Oh, the one other thing, guys, you know, the awards, the ISTE-LIB awards, please don't think that it's just for like the library rock stars or something. It is, you know, it takes a little bit of time. It's not a quick thing because we do take it very seriously, but please put yourself out there. We know you're doing great things, and don't think that it needs to be, oh my gosh, something that's been on the news or in the paper in order to be, you know, award worthy. It's great, and you know, if anything, you know, one of the things that are in the award is asking for a recommendation, and librarians, we're really bad at celebrating ourselves, and so this is,
we're getting better.
Yeah. So this is, yes, but this is a way though to sort of get other people aware of what you're doing. I know it was a really good conversation starter for my administrator when I had applied for it. Basically I gave him talking points for the recommendation, and I didn't get the award. It's funny, when we were talking about the award for the leadership team last week, most of the leadership team, except for Sherry, of course, applied and didn't get the award. So it's great though. And we totally support you to apply for any of the other ISTE awards too. The Young Educator Award, I don't know if the Making It Happen one is a nomination or just an application, but there are a ton of other awards there too. There's travel awards, go after those. So, all right, let's get into these tools. So what I want to stress for this is, so I'll be honest, I was never good at Reader's Advisory. And the reason why I was awful at Reader's Advisory is because I read sci-fi fantasy, and that is all I read, and that's still all I read, and that's what I like. I was very fortunate that I had a paraprofessional that loved romance and mysteries. So nobody in my school read adventure or historical fiction because we never recommended it, unless a teacher recommended it. But it was a great pairing. But, you know, not everybody is in that situation. Sherry, I know you were kind of in the same boat. You have your favorite genre too.
Absolutely. And I had a wonderful, wonderful assistant who, again, we balanced out each other. So what I didn't read, she did. But I've always depended on other types of tools like this to help with Reader's Advisory because, again, I am not a person that will power through books I don't enjoy. I am not a person that reads classics, and I'm not a person that reads books that people talk about a lot. So once they get a lot of hype, I'm done, and I'm not even going to pick them up. So I'm really bad as far as recommending certain books to people. So being able to have these tools in hand, still had my students saying, Mrs. Kick, have you read every book in this library? I'm like, no, I haven't, but I know what the books are about. And so that's really important that you be knowledgeable about your collection and help students be able to connect with the book, because it only takes that one to hook them in, and then they'll recommend that one to their friends and so on and so on. And that's what it takes to grow a reader.
So the tools we're going to start with are ones that have like a teacher or a librarian administrator side. And then we're going to slowly ease out of that into tools that are more completely student directed, or ones that you would just use on your own and then just verbally tell the student. So I'm going to start sharing my screen now and show you some of the tools. Okay.
I hope we're starting from the top, because this first one is one of my favorites. Oh, look at that great picture. Hey, thanks, Kathy, for tweeting that out.
Yes. We're both.
The trend continues with worst pictures online of me. Oh, my goodness. Yes. All right, people. We are starting with Epic Reads. Okay. Heather is presented to everyone. Thanks, Heather.
Yes. All right. Yeah, not just you. Okay. Yeah, so here's Epic Reads. So I have something that you should know is Epic Reads is free for elementary teachers and all school library media specialists. So you do have to register with your school email address, and get authenticated or verified. It doesn't, I mean, I did mine and it got set up within a day. And then you can create classrooms. So I'm going to go into my Mrs. Lister classroom, or Miss Lister. I got gonna pick my profile, and Cool.
Hope she
This
remembers
is
her
really good.
password.
I know.
Epic Reads, I do
Cool.
want to tell you
Great.
guys this. All right, she's in. Before they set up educator accounts, it was something that I was actually paying for as a parent. Like, I did my free account with my son. My son's now in 5th grade, Cohen, and we liked it so much that I thought, you know what, I'm going to pay for this because we buy books and we loved being able to sort. And I love Epic. It's recommended for ages 4 to 12. My son just turned 11 and we are still using it so much. As far as, I don't want to say he reads all the time on Epic, but it's usually for us, we do a lot of filler reading on it as far as nonfiction, short books that we can read together in the evenings, or topical ones. We love looking up just different topics during holidays and things like that. And you just pass by Scaredy Squirrel, and I mean, come on, who doesn't love Scaredy Squirrel? It doesn't matter how old you are. That is perfect to read.
Yeah, and that's what's awesome about Epic is they really do have a lot of those really popular titles on there. So when you're on here, there's a couple ways you can search. You can search by categories. You can search by genre. You can even search by publisher. Here we got that Big Nate series that's on here. And you'll see here that they have more than just books. So they have books that you can read yourself. They have the read-along books. They also have a really awesome collection of videos.
Yes, and that's a new feature. It's so fun. It was so great during Dot Day when they had the Peter Reynolds videos, and we had watched them the night before to get ready, and Cohen went to school, and his library assistant pulled it up, and he pulled it up on Epic because she uses it in the library with them, and he was like, awesome, we watched that video last night. So the videos are wonderful to use in your library.
Yeah, so we have all these awesome collections. I mean, you can definitely tell it's geared towards elementary. Great, Caillou. Nobody likes Caillou. We're never gonna watch that one.
It starts getting to know you once you pick some different things. So as far as, you know, different collections, and once you begin choosing things, it will recommend books. And I like that you can have it read to you. Heather did mention that. So sometimes it's nice just to listen to a book, read it with your ears. That's just a nice option sometimes, especially in the evenings. They have
the read to me, and then they have the audiobooks. So the ones that, you know, this is great for like those that are learning to read, you know, kids trying to get those independence, but sometimes you just, you know, you want like Alice in Wonderland.
Oh yeah.
It's a true narrated audiobook. It's not. Yeah. So there's these collections here, and you as a teacher can actually create your own collections with books. You can create collections and then share them just with your class, or you can create a collection and share it with the entire community, which is awesome. So, you know, you could create a collection today on something like a really, really broad topic, you know, something relating to the award winners today, you know, going through previous award winners or any authors that are on here that have won previous awards, and create a collection like that. And if you think it would be beneficial to everybody on Epic, not just your classroom, you can do that. Or if you're doing a unit in your class, or you're supporting a teacher that's doing a unit, you can create a collection for wildlife and then put any of the books that are in there that have to do with that, which is really cool. They also have the ability for you to create quizzes. So you create a quiz on a book, you share that with your class, and then you as the teacher can see the quiz results, and then you can also see a reading log. Sherry, could you see that like for your son's account? Like were you set up as a parent and then
Yeah, so on the educator account, like before, it works pretty much the same thing. From the parent side, it would tell me how many pages he had read or how many minutes it took him to read a book. And so that's great. And he earns badges as he completes different books and things like that. So I really like the way that it tracks the reading that he does, or that we do together. A lot of times if we're reading a book together, it makes us laugh because I might read faster than what they think it should be read. And they'll say, whoa, like you maybe need to spend some more time on this book. So it keeps kids from just flipping through, at least, you know, and saying that they read the book, at least taking some time to pause a little bit. Heather,
That's
did you hear,
awesome.
like there's new things with it. Doesn't it import into Google Classroom now? Is that right?
There is when you go to add your students, you can import directly from Google Classroom. You know, you can do the traditional importing of like the Excel file, but you know, I mean, a lot of schools, now that they're GAFE schools, they're using that Google Classroom. I mean, even if you're not using it as your learning management system, a lot of schools have their kids in Google Classrooms just because of the advantages that so many tools are using with this Google Classroom integration. And there's also an app. There's a Chrome extension. So
oh yeah, I have the app on my phone. We have it on the iPad. I mean, like we use it a variety of places.
Yeah. And they have a ton of, like, you know, Sherry mentioned, it didn't start as a teacher tool, but they have a ton of teacher materials. They have, you know, posters, flyers, lesson plans, tips to use it in the classroom. Really, really awesome collection of resources that are on there. So, and like Sherry mentioned, you know, the database of books, they change regularly. And so how this ties in with Readers Advisory, I think, you know, there's sometimes usually when a kid would say, I don't know what I want to read, I would ask them, you know, my slew of questions. Well, what have you read before that you like? And they, you know, I don't read anything. Well, what TV shows do you like? And sometimes no matter how much you probe, they're just not, you're not going to get an answer. And wandering through a library when all they're seeing is the spines isn't super helpful. So you can see here the interface is so colorful and it makes it really, really easy to browse. And like Sherry said, once the kids start reading books in here, it's going to start recommending books based on what they've read before and the books that they've spent the most time in. So it's going to make it a lot easier to connect your kids with a book that they're actually going to sit and read.
If you are at a one-to-one school, especially, like, get your kids signed up, because this is just a great app extension for them to explore during reading time. You know, as far as once they're there, just get them in there and let them browse and choose some books. And if they start a book and don't like it, they can get out and start another one, and it'll just kind of hold on to them. So it's a good way for them to try several books and just kind of get a feel for what the app and how it works.
And something just, you know, on the teacher side, this is great for read alouds. So you have a smartboard in your classroom, you have a projector. Yeah. Exactly. Especially when we were doing something with like wordless picture books where the illustrations were so important and you really needed your kids to see the detail in the illustration. It was like painful. I would sit up in the front of the room and I'd hold my tiny little book and then I'd have to stand up and walk around and show them. And they'd be like, wait, I didn't see it. And then you have to walk back and show it to them. This is awesome because you can pull it up on the screen, you know, use your keyboard shortcuts, zoom in, zoom out. Actually, when you're within a book, you can even zoom in and zoom out. And I'm hoping my Wi-Fi is gonna keep up with this. Yeah.
Like I said,
so, yeah, you can zoom in and zoom out.
She uses it all the time.
And then here, you can see here, so you can add it to a quiz if you want to. And then you can add to a collection or add it to your library. So there are a lot of really cool things that you can do on Epic. It's definitely something that you should check out if you are working with any students.
Oh my word, Heather, we better move on. We love
Epic. Okay. It's 8:23 and we've done one of our like 13,
it's one of my most favorites. Sorry.
And we've done one. Okay. Moving on, the next one is Beanstack. Some of you may know it as Zubean, and I am in a demo site here. So something that is pretty cool about Beanstack, it's a custom tool. It is a premium service. But you can set up a free trial. What I love about Beanstack is they're going to make it, well, like I said, it's custom. So the programs that you're going to see in Beanstack, the recommendations, the badges that kids can win, those are all things that you at the district level or the school level would personalize, which is really awesome. So the kids in here, they don't have to type in their teachers' names. They're already going to be added. They're already going to be added to a class, which definitely saves a lot of time on your end. What's really cool, though, is, so I'm just going to go into the programs that I'm in, and I'm in this Get in the Game program, and you can see the time that it's, and if I go in here, you'll see that there are things that I need to do basically to proceed through this program. So I have goals, activities, and then reviews, which is great because they're encouraging the kids to, you know, give feedback. And the activities that are in here, they're everything from list to pick a book on this topic. And then you get awarded, and you can actually earn rewards like free books. So you at the district can say, okay, once my school, my school is having a policy where any kid that reads 25 books this marking period is going to get a free book. You can set that up. It's all done within Beanstack. Really, really awesome. And then you'll see also there are, there are book lists that you can create. And certainly you can pull from their repository of books, the award winners, but maybe your district has an approved book list, the 100 books before kindergarten, or
Right.
I guess it's 1,000 books, but yeah, not 100. But you have this recommended list that's just your district. And it's great because you can see from this interface, it can look very elementary or it can look secondary. So it's really great for a K-12. So if you are interested in setting up a trial, just go to beanstack.com. And you can see here, this is just an example of the custom URL that you'll get for your school, and set up a free trial. It's great. They will give you a demo and tell you all the awesome things that they can do.
I heard they have great customer service too, for sure, as far as like they'll work right with you as far as what you need for your school, interfacing it with your OPAC.
Yeah, yeah. And they were really responsive to me. I'm like, look, I don't know anything about you, but I just want to show you off to some other librarians that I think this would be a great tool. And they were super supportive. They sent me a ton of stuff. So
check it out.
Yeah, definitely worth checking out. All right, this next one is Biblionasium, and this is one of my absolute favorite tools. It was an ASL Best Apps in 2013.
I see that seal.
What'd you say? Yeah, yeah.
I see the seal on the website, baby.
Oh my gosh, I got the year right because I kind of made that up. So Biblionasium, I used when I was in elementary teacher or librarian. I used it with my 5th and 6th graders.
I used it with 6th grade, and I used it with middle school too. So I think you can extend it into 7th, especially.
I totally think so. Yeah, I totally think you could. It's marketed itself as the Goodreads for kids. So you as a teacher, you can do some of the things that you could do in like Epic, where you can create, book challenge and quizzes, and you can recommend books to kids. But it's really supposed to be a peer-to-peer social reading experience. So all of your students would be put into a classroom, and you don't have to worry about it being like Goodreads where they're sharing with just random strangers. It's just within their classroom. They get their little avatar. It's cool. They have this little coach, this little guy here. He pops up and encourages you and recommends things to do. If you're just kind of clicking around, it'll say, well, why don't you check out this? Or why don't you look here? Or have you read a good book lately? Why don't you write a review?
Mm-hmm.
Reviews within books. It's a very, very robust tool. You can do challenges based on categories. You can do challenges for your kids based on the number of books, the number of minutes.
Again, setting up the classes.
And you can go very, very specific. So some of the tools, they will allow you to set a challenge for, that class, different classes. But this tool, you can actually set challenges for individual students, which I think is really, really great. So,
they've made, and what I like about Biblionasium is they've continued to update. So I don't feel like it's a stagnant tool. You know what I mean? As far as like, it has really continued to evolve and add services, and it's just gotten better and better, I think.
Yeah, and I'm already logged in, but they, if for any of Follow Destiny users, you can now do an integration with Destiny so that the kids can log in to Biblionasium with their Destiny account. And so I think we're going to see just more and more login connections, but that's really great. The other thing is the kids really like that it does feel kind of like a social network. They pick their avatar, they can change their background, they can really kind of customize their layout. And as with Epic, as they add books that they've read, they will start getting recommendations based on the things that they're putting in. So it's cool.
It is cool. And some of you may not have these options within your catalogs. Some of us do, depending on who you use for your OPAC. But this is a really great supplement if you don't have those features. You know what I mean? As far as some people are like, you know, I can't afford, my school system can't afford for us to upgrade to that software use. And so this allows you to do some of the things that you hear about the big names. And I'm not going to quote those names right now, but you know who I'm talking about. They are awesome, but not all school systems can switch to them that offer these within. So it's a great way to supplement and have all those cool things going on for your students.
Yeah, so that's Biblionasium. So definitely check them out. I could say a lot more. I know we're like totally pressed for time. I have 2 more that I absolutely have to share. Okay, so this next one, I had no idea what it was. I know, it's called Bookopolis, and it actually was an AASL Best Apps winner in 2015. And the only reason why I found this was because I spelled something incorrectly. I don't even know what I was looking for, but it put me here. And it's actually very, very cool. I would say it is very much like Biblionasium, but it is awesome for your middle grades. So here I'm just logged in and it does this book quest, and it basically this is going to take me through a survey to ask me what kind of books that I like. Well, okay, yeah. Thick books, exactly. That's how my kids talk about books. Do I want a thick book or a really thick book? I want a regular book. See, like totally kid friendly. Surprise. Let's do fiction. We definitely want magical.
Magical, duh.
What sort of magical stories? Oh, sci-fi. Oh, sci-fi or wizards? We're gonna go sci-fi.
Magical animals? What? Come on.
And so here we go. We're gonna Twilight. Come on.
Oh, look at those Michael Vade.
I would say, yeah. Okay, so there's highlighted. I don't know what I did. Okay, but 4 for 5. Definitely some good ones here. So here, let me go. Oh, what happened?
I can hardly keep up with tweeting all this. Let's see if I can talk about Bookopolis. Good stuff.
So the kids can actually participate with this. Hold on, I forget what it's called. This one, it takes you out to another site, but it's a partner site that the kids will. They get to pick 3 books, and they're pretty good books. They have 30 days to read the books and review the books. They actually get feedback on the reviews that they write from, you know, kind of well-known book reviewers, but what makes a quality review, things like that. So they actually get feedback on it. And then they, again, see here, these are books that have most, oh, look, isn't this a winner? Yep, there we go.
Hey, Mark. Look, all of them. Look at that. We've got our Newbery Award winner. We've got an honor book, 2 in a row there, and yes.
Yeah, so you'll see there's just some activities on here too, but this is a really, it's fun, it's clean, you know, it doesn't have, it's just all the features that I kind of wanted, like in the other tools, but just sort of packaged into one. And it can be totally student directed. It's not like a teacher needs to assign a challenge. The kids can just go in here and start browsing some books, and there's, oh, this is that AMP Kids. It's a graphic novels, the kids can go, and there's book trailers. It's a pretty cool site. So, oh, and you can log in with Google. You can log in with Canvas. You can log in with Edmodo. You can log in with Clever.
Are you kidding me? It connects with that many LMSs?
It does. The only flaw with this site is there's only an iOS app. There is not an Android app yet. And as an Android lover, I hate when this happens. It's, so
but
anyway.
It does work on, it is PC compatible?
It is, yeah.
Okay,
yep.
Well, perfect.
So, yeah. Okay, next one I want to show you, because that's all the ones that would be teacher directed, and the rest of the ones that are on our list are really ones that you can just recommend to your students.
Cool.
For the ones after the one I'm going to show you, I just sort of put them on our library website and said, here's some options. You know, if you're looking for a good book, here you go. So this next one I'm going to show you is Quizzer.
Yes.
Quizzer. It is not a tool that is made for Reader's Advisory. It's a quiz maker, and I created a quiz on what genre fits your personality. And I had middle school kids, and so you'll see, you know, these are kind of funny. And so I'm just going to kind of go through really quick. And okay, so this I have to talk about. So your friends describe you as overwhelmingly, because as a teacher or the creator of a quiz, you can see the results. My kids put the smart one, and I just had to laugh because so many, I mean, it's wonderful that they all think that they're the smart one, but I had to think to myself, maybe you need to get some smarter friends. So we're just gonna I'll put the teacher's pet. Oh, look at this one, Sherry.
Love it.
Yeah, so like a question like this, for example. So if a kid knew that this was a Dalek, they would get points for sci-fi.
Nancy
So let me
Jo
switch
would
over.
not pass that test. Just going to throw
No,
that
she
out
did
there.
not pass that test at all. So I'm going to go into this quiz really quick and just show you. It's an outcome-based quiz, which is why it's different than a Google form. So here's so my friends describe you as, and then you'll see here, you can get points depending on how you answer. So for some of these, I made them a little bit more obvious. Some, they were just kind of fun. Like I put pictures in here, memes, you know, pick your favorite meme. Just because they're middle school and I don't know, I thought it was funny. But so like this one, you know, if you could have one wish, what would you most likely wish for? That everything in my dreams would come true. Obviously, they're going to get more points for fantasy and less for dystopian. You can actually do negative points as well. So this is really fun. You can embed it. My kids had a lot of fun with this. So this is just another tool that you can create and you can personalize it. So if you have the specific genres in your school, like if you're a genre-fied library, you have in your library. That's what we did. So
hey, let's kick it up to high school. What do we have for high school people?
Well, Quizzer, actually, I got the idea from our high school group, from our high school teacher. But again, that's even something you could do at elementary. So a couple other things that we have on here. So I don't know about you guys. I did not use Goodreads in my school, and it was just because, yeah, there were middle level titles in there, but that I knew we were never going to have in our collection. Even our high school didn't have in our collection. And we had a lot of, you know, like Biblionasium and Bookopolis. They were great for middle school. So first, Goodreads is out there.
I'm going to say the opposite because I started my 8th graders in Goodreads because I knew that they were going into high school. And so it was really a good place for them. And we made a private classroom, but it was a good place for them to write their book reviews and to connect with each other and just as a reading log. And that's all I use it as far as if you find me on Goodreads, I don't write reviews. I just keep up with what I'm reading and rate the book really quickly. So just to scan the book in and give it a rating. But don't throw it out because if your kids are at least 13, they can access this site. And so 8th grade and up, I recommend it because I have students that are still using it as a good way for them to keep up with books and to see what other people are reading. So it's just kind of like the virtual way. Like I like to go in the library and see what's just been returned. This is the virtual way as far as seeing what's popular. So I still think it's a great tool.
Yeah, I really need to start logging my books because I'm not really a book reviewer either, but I would love to keep track of what I'm reading because just it's looking at what I've bought on Amazon is not the best way of keeping track of what you've read. And obviously I haven't logged that many books since it's telling me my suggested goal for this year is 12.
Go you.
Right. Meanwhile, over here, Matthews is 365.
I think mine is probably 117. So I'm keeping it real.
Good for you. Lit Pick, I want to talk about really quick. This is one, the kids can review books, but there are reviews on here as well. So again, I think this would be one that would be a little bit more student directed because they're reading reviews, but then they have sort of an incentive for giving their feedback for books. Sorry, I'm kind of flying through these. This next one, Teen Reads. There's a lot of really good lists on here. There's forums. So, you know, those lists that you see flying around Pinterest, you know, if you like this, read this. You know, if you're a fan of Harry Potter, what do you do, you know, when you're in mourning from this series that ended, whatever. Exactly. Book Verdict. This one I used as a librarian, but there were situations where I had students that would hop on here. It's a bunch of reviews, so you can look up reviews for specific books, and then it will have related books. So what I would tell my kids to do is search a book that they know they liked, and then at the bottom they would see books that were similar to that. Next one, oh my gosh, if you don't use Epic Reads, you need to use Epic Reads. It is so funny, and I just love it. Yes. It's definitely for high school librarians. It's all YA literature, but they have the book Shimmy Awards. Like that is, you have to watch it. They stream it. It's so funny, but it's book reviews and they're funny. And my favorite part is if you go under fun and then quizzes, there are the most random funny quizzes, based on book characters. They're so fun. They're great to do when you have a deadline to finish like a conference proposal and you need something to distract you even more.
That's right. Clear your brain a little bit.
Yes. So I love those. There's videos, there's book trailers. Their YouTube channel is awesome too. Here you can see ebook deals. I mean, it's just a really great literature site. And I love the way it portrays it because it just has the fun, cool theme to it. It's not a nerdy website. It's just, I love it. I love it. Somebody recommended YALSA's Teen Book Finder. It is just an app, so I can't really show you a web version of it.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a great way to just find all of the award-winning books, which, that's always somewhere. If a kid really has no idea what to read, let's start with the award winners. This next one, I think this is my last one that I wanted to show you, is What Should I Read Next? It's really simple and one that is very, very similar to this, that uses the same API, but my kids liked better just because it looked cooler. They just liked this guy. Was you just finished reading this? Yeah, so you just finished reading this by this, and then it would recommend, so let's see, Pittacus lore. And it will give you reviews from, okay, well, maybe not Library Thing right now, but that is another one. Like there's Library Thing, there's Shelfari, but Goodreads sort of dominates them all. Then it will give you recommendations for other books that are like that. Obviously, it's not the best for series because it's just going to recommend every other one in that series. And I feel like I have talked for 42 minutes very, very fast.
Yeah, let's don't leave that picture up there because they're just neither one of them real flattering. Can we just go to just us at this point?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Let me just refresh this. Okay. Okay, as I mentioned before, all of the links that we talked about today and a few others are on the Padlet. Please feel free to add some more on here. If there are any tools that you are using in your library to recommend books to kids, or ones that you use just for yourself, maybe you wouldn't put a kid on there on their own, but they're ones like if a kid comes to you and says that they like this, and you're trying to point them in the right direction, where do you go? Let us know. Add them on here. We can always. Oh yeah, you put Guys Reads up there. Oh my gosh, how can I forget that? And that's the thing. There are so many out there, which is why I had to put this out to the collective brain. So please add them to this. This webinar will be archived in case anybody missed this and they want to go back and look at it. I saw that the hashtag is a hoppin'. And that's please keep that going. We're going to be we have some awesome PD plans in the works on our whole post-truth topics, digital citizenship. Trying to think what else.
I don't know. I am flying back through the hashtag trying to see if we had any questions. I'm trying to respond with them, but keep them coming on ISTELIB hashtag. And for the life of me, I cannot remember the one site that I want to recommend, so I'm going to tweet it out super soon as far as
as soon as she remembers it.
Exactly. It's just it's escaped me at this moment. So Guys Read was the one I was thinking of because I did use that one a lot to let my kids search on and find, what was coming up or what they wanted me to purchase for the library if it wasn't there yet. So go ahead and tweet to us, add to the Padlet your favorite things that you're using, and follow somebody else on that hashtag. I see you guys talking to each other, so make sure that you're expanding your PLN tonight, because together we're stronger, right? We don't have to solve all the problems, but together we have all the answers.
All right. Well, thank you so much for welcoming us, ISTELIB PD, from our slumber. It was great to be here. I can't wait to see you next time. Spread this PD around.
Hey,
and as Sherry mentioned, just
survey. Fill up the survey.
Yeah.
Tell us what you want us to do next month, right?
Yeah, and don't do like the 911 thing, like, oh, somebody else is going to put this topic or somebody else is going to put that topic. Just put it, you know, if
You put
anything,
what you
if we
want.
have multiple requests for the same content, then we'll know that we should be doing it. So, um,
That's right.
yeah. All right, folks. Well, it has been awesome, and we will see you very, very soon. The archive will be posted as soon as it's finished rendering on our ISTE LIB Weebly, and we will
You
tweet
got
it
it.
out as soon as it's done.
Hey, thanks, guys. We'll see you soon. See you on the hashtag. Take care.